Welcome to Face the Facts. I am Nick Face. Joining me alongside on my left today is Tom Smith. Welcome back, Tom.
How's it going?
I want to start out the show first. I want to apologize. I don't know what happened to my voice. It sounds a little bit deeper. I woke up this morning and I don't have much of a voice.
So makes you sound 28 now.
You just gave my age. How do I continue to have him on the show? But anyways, we have a lot to talk about because we have the Celtics that are still going on with their run to maybe an NBA championship. Okay,
who knows?
They're going on 4 days off,
yeah.
Which is ridiculous. We also have the Red Sox who are, again, playing the seesaw battle. They play a good game, they play a bad game. They play too good, they play too bad. So we'll talk about that a little bit here too. Typically, we start out the show with the Bruins. We're not going to do that. We're going to start with the Celtics. We have to start with the Celtics because they have a 2-0 commanding lead against the Cleveland Cavaliers in this NBA Eastern Conference battle. Let's break it down a little bit. Let's think about what we saw from Game 1, which is on Mother's Day, and then Game 2, which is Tuesday night of this past week. I'm amazed at the way that they came out, first of all, in Game 1. What a domination that was.
I wish I could say I watched it. I mean, I
watched it at least.
I wasn't able to watch it, and then I got yelled at for watching Game 2, so I couldn't watch Game 2 either.
Oh, is that because of me? That's right. That's right, because I told them to turn it off because they were losing at the time, and when the fourth came, they were making their surge and getting on a good route there. Game 1 was a game that was very amped up because, as we know, the Celtics are trying to take the throne away from King James. What we saw from the first quarter on is the Celtics came out ready to play. The play that they had from Marcus Smart, especially on the defense, was very huge. But my key player of Game 1 was Marcus Morris. Marcus Morris had not done really anything in the playoffs. Showed up for the Game 1. Was pretty much on LeBron, pretty much the good amount of the game. And he answered with, I believe it was about 25, 26 points in that game. But it wasn't just him that contributed in that game. We had Terry Rozier had a great game, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Al Horford. The same names we've been saying throughout the Bucks series and, of course, the 76ers series we're saying once again. They feel to me like a very consistent unit right now. They feel hungry. They feel great being the underdog. Where's the road lead for the Celtics right now?
I think part of it is because after they got past the Bucks, they're like, wow, we might actually be able to do this. People didn't believe in us, and now we're showing them that we're a team that's ready to play, that we can contend with the best of the best. And I mean, they're just showing people that they're wrong.
A lot of criticism was made with the Al Horford contract when he was signed a couple years back. For big money, he's a backs player. A lot of people will criticize the Celtics for not being able to really offer or offering way too much for the player. Do you criticize them now?
No.
Exactly.
I mean, all I've heard about the playoff games is Al Horford, Al Horford, Al Horford. I mean, when they talk about the Celtics, it's Al Horford.
It's clutch.
He
gives me a little bit of the Paul Pierce style. You see the professionalism that goes into his play. You see how much he cares, how much effort he gives, and you can also see his teammates really have his back. Specifically in Game 2, here was a game where typically the Cavaliers, after a loss, come out and they're firing on all cylinders. That happened in the first quarter and the second, basically. But then the Celtics came out after halftime and just stole the show. J.R. Smith, the player on the Cavaliers, was trying to defend Al Horford with him making the basket, going up there and getting it. And Horford was about to go out of bounds. And he was going out of bounds. And he shoved him out of bounds. Should have been a flagrant 2, in my opinion. Did you get a chance to see any of that? Or a clip of anything like that?
I think I saw it, and it's just stuff like that, and the refs don't call it, and I don't understand it. I never understood it. but it just doesn't make any sense that you can shove a guy out of bounds and get away with it.
No, it didn't make any sense here to me. But what I loved about it is it was, in a way, a big play in the game because it showed the passion, the care, the respect that all of the Celtics teammates have for one another. Smart gets under that microscope a lot. A lot of people are critical about his style of play. He can't really shoot that great. But defense, that's what's separating this team right now. That's what's allowing the Celtics to be a cohesive unit, to give them the best style of play they can to beat players like LeBron and the Cavs.
When you hold LeBron to 15 points, you are going to win the game.
You are. But the Celtics gave up in Game 2 I think it was 42 points he scored in the game.
Yes, it was something crazy. He scored a lot of points that game.
But in a way, to me, who cares if you let that many points up to him? As long as you're defending the rest of the guys around that court pretty well and pretty effectively, Cavaliers can lose the game.
Right.
That's what we saw.
But at the same time, you can't let LeBron score too many points where it gives a team the sense of belief that they can actually start winning the game.
So do you see any sense of belief in the Cavaliers right now?
No.
I don't either. I see a team that's packed it up and ready to go home.
When you give a lead up like that and lose a game on the road and you're coming back home, we see it in every sport, really.
Now, Tyronn Lue is the coach for the Cavaliers. Well, so-called coach. We all know it's really LeBron. He's the GM and the coach. Very interesting Game 2 press conference that he had at the end of the game. He said the Celtics were gooning it up. What the heck does that even mean? Celtics are gooning it up. Does that mean winning?
I guess.
If they're going to goon it, I hope they goon it up some more. I don't understand where that came from.
Looking for calls? Why
don't you put your hoodie back on and take yourself off the stage and you look like a fool?
Put LeBron up there.
LeBron, I'm not going to lose any sleep over this. Oh, we'll be fine. As a Cavalier fan, to hear that, if you're a Cavalier fan, how do you take that?
I wouldn't be too happy.
No.
But at the same time, I'm sure they're hearing rumors that LeBron's thinking about leaving, so I'm sure.
Do you think he does leave though?
I don't know anymore. I just don't know anymore.
We're going to have the decision part 2 on ESPN.
There's been
taking my talents to
so many players that have gone back and forth, whether it's going back and forth between teams or ending their career or still playing, a.k.a. Brett Favre.
LeBron is all about the drama.
Yeah.
He wants the drama. He loves the drama. Celtics shift their series. Amazingly, it's been 4 games. Okay, the last game was on Tuesday. 4 games off.
4 days.
4 days off. Pretty much days, whatever you want to call it.
Game days.
The reason for it is because the NBA is trying to push as much money down their bank accounts as possible so these networks just get the best ratings possible.
And so the playoffs
So Saturday night is when the game will be.
Possible.
So they go as long as possible. We won't get into the finals here, folks, until June. So we're here for a long run, and we're only in the middle of May right now.
And people question why the hockey playoffs go so long. The
Exactly.
hockey playoffs end 2 weeks
Hockey goes
before.
great. Hockey's great. The way they flow that.
They just want
Day off, go. That's what it should be done. That's what should be. Too much rest.
Yeah,
Too much rest.
I don't.
Because now you're going to get amped up for now Game 3 and 4, which shifts to Cleveland now. Any concern about that?
I think I'd be shocked if Cleveland didn't take 1 game.
Yeah, I'd be too.
But at the same time, the miracle season keeps going. I don't know. I really don't know. But I mean, it's hard. It's hard to tell. I mean, with 4 days off, who knows what could happen.
That's what's concerning me here a little bit. I said it the last show that we did. I said 7 games. I got to think I changed my mind here. Do I give it 5? Do I give it 6? I think I give it 5.
I think I got
to give it 5.
I was waiting to see what would happen in Boston, to see if they would come out.
I didn't expect to win Game 2.
I didn't expect to win 2 games, period. I thought that maybe the Celtics would win Game 2 and lose Game 1, but
wrong.
I don't know basketball, so.
So kind of our predictions have been pretty good on the show so far.
Fairly good.
Fairly good.
We've been pretty good at calling a lot of stuff.
Just so we know on the Bruins, I had to call the Bruins like it was because I was such a fan. But I think we all knew.
Well, we said, I mean, before
I didn't think they were going to lose 4 in a row, but I didn't think they were going to get out of the series.
But, I mean, we said before the start of the playoffs that if the Bruins had someone else in the first round other than Toronto, they would have had a better chance of moving on.
I think Toronto got all the gumption out of them, really. But back on the Celtics train here. Is it 6 games? I don't know. But the Celtics have such a great home record. I don't want to doubt against them right now. I just don't. So I want to go with 5 games.
I'm saying 5.
I want to say 5.
But, hey, if they win it in 4, good for them.
No matter what, the Celtics are 36-0 after they lead 2 games in a series and wrapping it up and winning. So you got to feel pretty good about that, folks, there, too. So I'm feeling pretty confident, but we got to see how Game 3 goes. Again, it shifts to Cleveland, and that will be Saturday night. Any other things that we want to say about the Celtics?
Al Horford, just keep doing you.
Keep being clutch, Al Horford. Let's shift to the Western Conference for a sec. We got Houston and Golden State going on in that series. I've seen a little bit of the games. We got a 1-1 tie right now between both opponents. If I'm a Celtics fan, I want Houston, of course, versus Golden State. Now the question here is, can Houston take over and beat Golden State?
I mean, I haven't seen much of the games, but I feel like this series is going to the refs.
It could be.
I feel like that it's just so hard in the Eastern Conference right now to make calls that aren't calls, like ghost calls. But I feel like it's a lot easier with the 2
business,
teams.
the officiating.
I feel like it's a lot easier to make ghost calls in the Western Conference right now with the 2 teams that are playing.
Yeah, I can too. I think it's still going to be Golden State. I don't think Houston has enough.
I don't think the NBA wants Houston to win.
I don't either. I think the NBA wants Golden State. That's their bottle. That's their team. That's the one that they want. So it makes me think here. Are we unrealistic to think that the Celtics can take down Golden State?
No.
You don't think so? Okay.
No. And it comes down to how tough they played them during the regular season.
Yep.
They beat them in the first game that they played them in the season. Yes, I know they had Kyrie in that game, but they still beat them. And then the other games, I don't think they had Kyrie the other games that they played them, right? I know they didn't have.
I think they had Kyrie just 1 game.
1 game, yeah. So, I mean.
They played him twice this year?
Did they?
Yeah, twice.
And they put up a pretty good fight without Kyrie in the other game.
Yep.
So, I mean.
Different team. It's a different team right now, too. So we got to remember that.
It's a 7-game series. Anything could happen.
Anything could happen. We've seen crazier things. If the Celtics go on and win the NBA championship, you heard it here first. Excuse me. Anything else on the NBA?
Nothing.
Nothing. Done with the NBA. Go Celtics. Let's shift to hockey. Not just the Bruins here, but we want to talk about what's happening in the 2 series going on. We have the Tampa and the Washington series that's going on, and we also have the Vegas series and the Winnipeg Jets are battling it out between one another. Overall opinions and what you've seen from both series. Let's go with the Tampa and Washington series first. Is this Washington's year? He's speechless.
Well,
what do we got for a series right now? Pretend our audience doesn't know.
It's, Tampa just tied it in Game 4, tied the series up in Game 4 with a great win. They were tied 2-2 going into the third, and Tampa took the lead about halfway through the third period. I believe so. It was either Stamkos or Kucherov.
Okay.
Or no, actually, you know what? It was Alex Killorn, I believe.
Okay.
And I mean, I said after the first game, after that blowout Washington had over Tampa, this was looking like the Boston series all over again.
Yep.
And so far, Washington won 1 more game than Boston, but like so far,
it's quite a series. So we're tied. We're even.
Yep, we're even.
Who do you see comes out of it?
As a hockey fan, I mean, as much as I hate Ovechkin and the Capitals, I'd like to see the Capitals move on.
Okay.
At least to go to the finals.
Do you like
for the
Tampa
first
more
time.
than Washington, though?
I like the players more.
Okay.
There are a couple more players on Washington that I'm not a big fan of.
Kind of like it that Ovechkin hasn't won one. Kind of like that.
Well, I mean, at like the Crosby Ovechkin era, you kind of want to see one of them not win a cup.
Yeah, wouldn't that be fun?
Because
haha, you didn't win a cup. I'm going to be the Dan Marino of hockey.
yeah, basically.
Shifting to the Winnipeg and the Golden Knights series. I really like the Golden Knights. I just really like them. You know, yes, there's some players on Winnipeg that are also very good too. You have Dustin Bufflin, who's excellent.
Paul Stastny's another good one.
Stastny's excellent. And of course, Blake Wheeler, who the Bruins had. Don't get me started on that one. So you have a lot of familiarity, if you're a Bruins fan, with seeing, unfortunately, a lot of players in the Western Conference battling it out with one another. Of course, on the Golden Knights, you have Colin Miller, who's out there.
Riley Smith,
yep.
Malcolm Subban.
Yep, who's their backup for goaltending. I feel like this is Vegas right now. I feel like it's Vegas. James Neal in the game that I saw, which was not last night, that was Wednesday night. He just completely is a dominant force on that ice.
He's been one of my favorite players in the NHL ever since I started paying more attention to hockey and watching the Predators, and I was pretty upset at the beginning of the year when Vegas drafted him. Mm-hmm. But I mean, the key to Vegas' season this year is drafting Marc-Andre Fleury.
Yep.
They literally, I said at the beginning of the year, they're not making, the only way they're making the playoffs is because of Marc-Andre Fleury, and then they go through 4 goaltenders in the first month and a half of the season, and now they're in the playoffs, and they have the best goaltender in the playoffs.
Pittsburgh going to kick themselves for it?
Oh, I think so. As Pittsburgh, why would you get? I understand that Matt Murray, great goalie, but at least have Marc-Andre Fleury, split the games up between the two. They both deserve it.
Why wouldn't they have just let Matt Murray go? Who is with more? It seems to me, even if your goalie's older wins from experience. That's what the Bruins saw with Tim Thomas. You need someone who's a vet who's out there that knows the game. Look, Thomas was 37 years old, I think, when he was putting up his remarkable season that he did.
Mm-hmm. Something about it.
So
mid-30s, yeah.
maybe these NHL teams will get it in their system that sometimes going young with goaltending isn't the best way of going about their business.
And Matt Murray is
experience
injury prone.
wins out.
Matt Murray's injury prone, and they more than that
Pick
hard real
guy.
quick.
That could have been a trifecta for Pittsburgh.
Absolutely. Honestly, the only reason why they lost against Washington was because of the goaltending.
Yep.
They have the offense. They have the defense. Matt Murray did not look good at all.
No, that's what I noticed from it, too.
Washington had his number, high glove side, all the time.
And that's what they did.
Yep.
They went right to it. They picked on his weakness,
right,
to say the least.
Right.
Who gets out of the Winnipeg Golden Knights series?
Vegas.
So Vegas and Washington, you're calling. I'm calling Vegas and Tampa, just because I like Tampa more than I like Washington.
I mean, either way, it would be a good
Ovechkin
series.
is like the A-Rod to me of hockey. I just can't root for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I can't. I mean, I don't know.
I still say Vegas. I still say Vegas wins.
I like Ovechkin over Crosby, but I mean, they're two greater evils, so it really doesn't matter.
Nothing much on the Bruins front. They're done. Looking forward to next season. No other reports on the Bruins right now. Right now we're going to change our gears and go to the Boston Red Sox. I'm still happier. I'm happier about what I've seen, but I'm still not convinced right now, even though that the Red Sox, I think, have the most wins in baseball or something like that right now.
Yeah.
Because the Yankees haven't really played this week. They've been rained out and all.
Right.
I'm still concerned. And if people follow me on Twitter and stuff like that, people think that I live under a rock and I'm ridiculous because I'm not really complaining. I'm expressing concerns about what I feel the Red Sox need to do to get over the hump and become a better team. The first thing this week that we've learned, the new updates for the week that we've heard, is Carson Smith, after the game this week, chucked his glove in the dugout and now has a shoulder separation because he got so mad he gave up a home run. After the game, he talked about being overused, that he felt that his injury didn't lead to him throwing his glove in disgust in the dugout. Had to do more with Alex Cora overusing Carson Smith. Before I get your opinion on it, Carson Smith hasn't pitched nearly anywhere near the limit that other relievers on this Red Sox team have faced. So if Carson Smith had an issue with going into a game and being tired, he should have opened his damn mouth and said something to Cora instead of Alex Cora going up to the media on his report and saying, what the heck is Carson Smith talking about? What are your thoughts? What a joke.
I just have to
What
laugh.
a fraud,
I just
too.
have to laugh at that. What's going on with the excuses for the Red Sox pitchers right now?
You got thumbs hurting from Fortnite. You got pitchers complaining, oh, my arm's tired. I can't pitch, coach.
You're overused. I'm sorry. You pitch every, 2 games, and you only throw maybe 2/3 of an inning each game you pitch?
Why are baseball players so soft? And I'm sorry, there's some of them that are just hardworking and work their tail off. Why are they such prima donnas?
You don't see John Lester yelling at the media for him not being able to throw a ball to first base.
Right?
Like, oh, yeah, you threw out your arm because you're too tired, not because you're too overused, not because you threw your glove in the dugout. Come on now, really?
So what do they do now? Carson Smith was supposedly supposed to be a bridge to Kimbrel and some other players out there. Now they got to rely upon
Matt Barnes and Heath Hembry.
Excuse me. My stomach got a little floppy when you said that.
Well, I mean, as we saw last week when we were watching the game, and I kept calling every at bat, and with Matt Barnes pitching, he's just too predictable.
I'm not a Matt Barnes fan.
I
You
know you're
know
not.
that. He's another one of those soft players.
He's not a fan of
If
you
you
either.
criticize him, no, he's not a fan of me. We know that. He doesn't have to listen to me anymore either. He can't take criticism. If you're a player for the Red Sox, these players have to understand that it's part of the territory when you come here to Boston. We're going to love you if you perform.
And we're going to rip you apart.
We're going to rip you to shreds if you don't show up to the big stage. It's just who we are, what we do. Sorry, that's how we are for fans.
It happened.
If you can't take it, travel off to San Diego.
Or wherever else.
And stay classy.
Yeah. I mean, X said it best last night.
Oh, what a breath of fresh air having him in the booth last
was-
night. Johnny Gomes up. The ball is going to be a put out at second base.
Lullaby Johnny.
The designated hitter is the person that doesn't play in the field.
Then X comes in and
That's Johnny Gomes.
basically
Johnny Robot.
and then
terrible broadcast.
Then X comes in. JBJ steps up to the plate.
Criticizing.
You expect he comes up there and you expect him to have an 0-2, expect him to have 2 strikes on there. And I'm paraphrasing that. It was
He did.
something like that.
But X shoots straight from the hip, and that's why I enjoy him and Remy together.
And he's funny. He's funny too.
Was that broadcast not enjoyable last night to listen to?
I love watching games that
The
X
cheese
does.
with hair, that go in bridge, all these terms that Eck uses, they're Eckerisms. That's what I call them.
Yeah.
He is so entertaining.
Or econyms, whatever you want to call them.
Econyms. that's
Eckerisms,
fine.
econyms.
Eckerisms, econyms. But Nesson needs to use him more in the booth. Remy's great. When they have O'Brien, Eckersley, and Remy together, it's the best broadcast in baseball. And I'm sorry to even give O'Brien any credit because he's bedtime Dave.
Well, and the only reason why he's in there is because he's a commentator. He's not an analyst.
Every time I bring up Dave O'Brien, I have to send my condolences out to Don Orsillo. I'm such a Don Orsillo guy. I wish he was still here. He was so good.
I think everybody does.
Everybody does. Everybody does. It's just
It's
the
not
Red Sox
enjoyable
are a
to
bunch
watch.
of, no. No, bedtime lullaby. Get yourself into bed. You'll be asleep in 10 minutes.
Might as well listen to the game on the radio while you're watching the game
The
on TV.
radio broadcast is pretty good. I have no issues with that. I like it when Maloney's on there, too. Because Maloney, he's fearless. He'll say whatever he wants to do. The Red Sox also announced this week, their play has been pretty good. So they have a series against the Orioles that's ongoing this week. Hopefully they take 4, because they should. Because the Orioles just are not a good
terrible
team.
team. And the Fortnite Crybaby pitched a complete game.
The Fortnite Crybaby, David Price, pitched a complete game. Can you believe it, folks? 95 pitches, was just complete dominant. David Price continued to do that, and I won't get on your butt, and I won't be one of those crazy fans that wants to pack your suitcases up and ship you off at Logan Airport.
Just don't whine about pitching to the Yankees.
Just don't. Just get out there and do it. Like the Nike slogan, just do it. Red Sox announced upcoming in a couple months is going to be an alumni game. I don't know if you heard about this.
I saw that, yeah.
First alumni game in 25 years. Some names that are going to be in this game will include Wade Boggs, Pedro Martinez, Mike Greenwell, Lou Merlone, Johnny Gomes. The list goes on and on and on. As long as Johnny Gomes stays away from the mic, I'm happy. But anyways, that should be a good take. It's going to be at 10:30 in the morning. I wish I remembered the date, but that should be something cool to look forward to as well.
May 27th.
May 27th?
I believe so, yep.
So look for that coming soon. Want to end the show today with talking very quickly about the Patriots and the issues that are going on with the turmoil with Tom Brady not showing up to OTAs and everything. There is a report that he's only showing up for the mandatory participation, which is June 5th, 6th, and 7th. That'll be at Gillette. What are your overall thoughts on the whole Tom Brady scenarios going on right now?
Who cares?
That's what I feel.
Like he's never shown up. I don't think he's shown up to them before.
Yeah, he's shown up to the things that allow the quarterbacks to throw the football. So I've been hearing a lot about it on the radio and on TV. Like what I don't like, and this is what Felger was talking about. Tom Brady's in the area, basically. Lives in Brookline. I'm not going to give you the address. I don't even know it. But
12 Tom Brady.
When you go to Gillette Stadium, you either take a right to go into the stadium or take a left, or a left into the stadium, right into TB12. If he's going to get a rub down from Alex Guerrero versus going onto the football field and getting ready with his receivers, his tight ends, his running backs, all that stuff, isn't that more valuable to your time than getting a rub down from Guerrero?
Yes and no.
Can't you do both?
You can do both, but at his age, I would prefer him to get a rub down because then that way.
Why is Tom Brady, though, seeming like such a different player? It seems like he's angry with the organization. Should he be angry with them? Should he be angry with the Patriots? And is he angry with the Patriots?
I mean, I've heard rumors that he is. I mean, should he be angry with the organization? No. There's nothing they could do about winning the Super Bowl or losing the Super Bowl. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. But I mean, it's the same. It's almost the same wide receiver core that he had last year. So I'm not.
Well, don't have Amendola. You have Edelman that's going to be out there. I still feel like he needs to do both. And even if they are optional should mean do it. So hopefully we see Monday when things start ramping up with getting more participation from players and teammates that Brady and Gronk together, because they're both kind of in this, I don't know if I'm going to play, I'm going to retire, I really like doing my own thing. We'll see if it impacts anything on the season here. We want to wrap up our show. We're going to keep it brief for today, just a half-an-hour edition here of Face to Facts. Any last words?
Well,
go Celtics.
Go Celtics. Go Knights. Go
Yeah.
Golden Knights. Jonathan Marchessault, just keep doing what you're doing for the Knights.
We will see you next time on another episode here of Face the Facts. We'll see you soon.